What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, host of the Philly Talk Podcast, and we are live on two channels, the Philly Talk Podcast and the Real Ed Oliver's channel. And we got an NFC East battle that I believe a week and a half ago, we were all prepared to say both teams are going to throw everything on the line, and one of these teams most likely will take that 7th seed. Now, it's still a battle for the 7th seed. You know, in war, sometimes you can't go to battle with all your people for whatever reason, even though it's unfair. We're going to have to talk about it, but go ahead and introduce yourself for the people on my channel.
Yes, sir. It's the real Ed Oliver, not the one from the Bills. You guys know what it is. Shout out to the people in my chat, too. I see a couple people. Juan Gotti, what's up, man? Brian Harden. Channel member, what's up, man? King Sean, what's going on, man? Y'all, if y'all lose to us, it's going to be real embarrassing for the Eagles. I'm telling you.
Hey, at this rate, yeah, it is, regardless who plays at quarterback, because that's really the big situation the Eagles got going. Now, we do have somebody in the health and safety protocol. I like to say that because when you say the C word, they got all that CDC stuff on your it's just ugly. But yeah, we only got Quez and Jason Huntley. He's not really a factor. Now, just when I looked at your list, I saw there was a couple people who are not like huge factors, but you also got some big names on there too. Who are the main people that you think if they don't play, it's the biggest loss, right? Like not just the guys who, fill a role on special teams or a death piece. Who are your biggest losses from the health and safety protocol? And then we can get into like actual injuries.
Yeah, it's with John Allen. He's on the list. He's our best player on the team, really right now, defensively. But he did get vaccinated, so if he has 2 negative tests in a span of 24 hours, he can play. So because he tested negative, I want to say on Monday, so he has a chance to play. Of course, Montez Sweat tested positive the day of or right before the Cowboys game, so he's not going to play. Kyle Allen, our backup quarterback, is Taylor Heinicke. He's banged up. He had a knee injury against the Cowboys, then he had an elbow injury against the Cowboys. So we had to sign a quarterback named Jordan Ta'amu to the practice squad. He's probably going to be elevated to play. We'll see. There's just a lot of guys. I mean, I can go through the list. There's 18 guys on the list, so I'm even forgetting. Oh, Cam Sims, our wide receiver, the guy who mossed Trayvon Diggs.
He stepped up. He did step up. I watched that whole game. It was crazy because I know where we're sitting now, I had to root for Dallas. But low key, the fact that I hate Dallas so much, when y'all started coming back, I was like, back in my head, I'm like, okay, go ahead and get Dallas. I'm like, well, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm torn between two evils, but I do dislike Dallas more.
Yeah, so you're doing the right thing. You're doing the right. Root against the Cowboys at all times. But yeah, Cam Sims is huge, man. He's playing better than a lot of guys. Like he's playing better than Curtis Samuel. He's playing better than a lot of guys that we expected to play well. Tim Settle, Matt, that's our defensive tackle. He's our backup. Matt Ioannidis, our defensive tackle. He was our sack leader in 2018. He tested positive for the virus. Kendall Fuller, our cornerback, he tested positive for the virus. So those are some big names right there. William Bradley King, our backup defensive end. We barely have any DEs right now. We had to sign another DE already with Sweat and Chase out. So even without these virus, positive tests, we're honestly banged up already. Terry McLaurin, concussion protocol. I really don't think he's going to play. So you guys get a break there. The Slay versus McLaurin matchup. Everybody wants to see that. We probably won't get to see that on Sunday.
Yeah, that was one I was definitely looking forward to, for the simple fact that all season we haven't been letting Slay shadow. But when we see receivers get off in the first quarter, adjustments made, he went over there and shadowed a couple people. And low-key, people don't want to admit this because he doesn't got the flashy big numbers and turnovers. He does have a couple touchdowns off of fumble recoveries, a pick six. But the dude is playing lights out when you look at targets and stuff like that. We're playing a more predominantly zone, but when thrown his way and man-to-man coverage, the dude has been sticky. A lot of people talk about his age and stuff. I think we got him for a while, so don't worry. You'll get that matchup, just not this week. Scary Terry is one of the legit receivers in the NFL. He gets underlooked a lot just because he's not one of them diva type. And, Washington's not the flashy offense. You're known for defense and running the ball, grind it out under Ron Rivera. But do you think there's no chance? Because I've seen a lot of people in, this year at least, be able to get past it. Again, it's all about levels, right? And all that stuff. And I haven't followed it. Is there any outside chance he can play?
I mean, yeah, I haven't heard. I'm just, in my opinion, the way he fell because Heineke threw the ball so high in the air, and then two guys came up under. I think it was KZ and somebody else. And you saw his head bounce off the ground. And we just had Jaden McKissick who was in the concussion protocol. He already missed 2 games. He missed the Vegas game and he missed the Cowboys game. So concussions, they linger for us. Jordan Reed, Vernon Davis, guys like that. The history of concussions in DC just doesn't go well. So honestly, I would put a 90% bet down that McLaurin doesn't play. But like I said, I don't know for sure.
All right, all right. Well, you got a super chat here from your boy Chris.
Yes, sir.
Crowder. He said, "Appreciate you, Ed. Thank you for keeping us up to date on the daily." He said, "Let's get this dub for the Washington football team." Hey,
Yes,
look,
sir. Shout out Chris Kreider.
it's crazy though how teams. I mean, you hear these stories, right? And look, if it's another team, I'm rooting for the underdog team that lost 17 players. Can they pull together? You get the unknown guys come up. We've seen some crazy things happen, but this is something that the Philadelphia Eagles cannot allow to happen because it's just a bad look for a team that, the trajectory is kind of pointing up when you look at where we were supposed to be rated this year, not just by the national media, but by all you NFC East content creators. I don't forget, everybody had the Eagles last, right? They might have had the Cowboys first, and then of course, you had Washington, or you even were flirting up with Cowboys and then Giants, but you all seem to say the Eagles are going to fall behind. So we take a note, even though we haven't beat anybody in the NFC East yet. It'd be nice to get you guys full. But I seen a question here asking you to compare Gardner Minshew to Tyler Heineke. What is your take on that?
That's a good question. They're both very similar. They're both they got the swagger, like that moxie, that underdog thing. Minshew was dapping up his dad after y'all beat the Jets, the worst team in the league. He was going crazy in the parking lot. So, but yeah, they both got that underdog story. They're both very similar. I don't know who's really better, to be honest with you. I don't think either one is really better than the other. They're both very similar. Minshew might be it's hard to say. It's hard to say, honestly. But I like Minshew. Minshew's gutsy, man. He's got swag. He's got Minshew mania, the whole mustache thing. He's a likable guy. Heineke's a likable guy. He's got that underdog story. He came from ODU. Was living in his sister's house and whatnot. Wasn't even playing football for like a year or two. Was a practice squad XFL guy, so they're both easy to root for.
Yeah, definitely. And especially just the way things happen, right? Heineke had that little storyline finish to the season last year, which made a lot of Washington fans say, "Hey, what can this guy be?" He lost a job to Fitzpatrick due to just paying the money to sign him. But where are you at on your quarterback situation? Like, first of all, what is the news on Heineke versus Allen? Oh, Allen is in the protocol.
He's in
now
the
too,
he's in
right?
the protocol too. Yeah,
So
we had to sign another quarterback.
Who did you sign?
His name is Jordan Tam. Well, the funny thing is, he was in the XFL too, on the same team with Taylor Heineke. He started over because Heineke was a backup in the XFL to this guy, and we just signed him today.
Hey, that is it's wild. It's wild. And Heineke, his injury is what?
So he had a knee injury and an elbow injury.
And Michael Parsons was bad to him. He
All
beat
of
him
them.
up.
Honestly, the whole Dallas D line was killing us, to be like Gregory, DeMarcus Lawrence, Gallimore. They everybody on the D line was eating.
Yeah, true that. So looking at this game now, there's still that outside chance for the people who do have vaccinations to still play. Are you expecting this team? Are you expecting your team to roll over, or do you think you guys will be able to put up a fight, just knowing the depth on your team? I mean, quarterback, like you said, it's been shaky. You went from Ryan Fitzpatrick to Heineke, Allen in the game, thinking you're going to get him maybe this game if Heineke can't play. Now he's on the health and safety protocol list and bouncing back and forth, losing Chase Young, Logan Paulson like twice. Where do you guys even stand with just competing the rest of the season, let alone this game?
Yeah, shout out to Logan Paulson. He played on the team a couple of years ago, but yeah, losing Logan Thomas.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant to say.
But yeah, Logan Paulson, he's a legend. Logan Thomas, him tearing his ACL, that sucked. But no, they're not going to lay down. It's going to be a tough game. All NFC East teams or games are tough. I think this game is going to be ugly. I think it's going to be ugly, just like the Giants in your game. I think it's going to be in the teens. I don't see either team getting the 30 points or anything like that. But no, they're gonna play hard. Ron Rivera, he's gonna get his guys fired up. Ron Rivera, man, he's communicating with these guys. He's getting these guys to buy in. Every time after the game, he throws a rock at the wall, and he gets the guys fired up. Kind of like I saw with you. And every time you video, you put your hand up. Is Ron Rivera's got his thing right now. He's got these guys locked in. They're gonna play hard. They're not gonna lay down. Like Antonio Gibson's still healthy. Some of the most important parts of the team, we still have some guys healthy. Like honestly, this D line losing Matt and John is really gonna hurt. If John can come back, I think that would be the biggest get back guy. But honestly, the D line has played better without some guys not being there. To be honest with you, Chase Young, Montez Sweat. For some reason, they just played better. They played them more as a unit, more as a team. The secondary is playing better. We still have William Jackson, and honestly, you guys losing Quez Watkins, that helps out the loss of Kendall Fuller, in my opinion, because Jalen Rager, I don't know if you think he's going to be a factor in the game or not. JJ Arcega-Whiteside, I don't know if you think those guys are going to be factors, but honestly, all we need is William Jackson to match it with Devontae, let him shadow him around, and our linebackers, all our linebackers are healthy, so there's no problem right there. But I think these guys are going to come to fight. We still got Gibson. We just need Jaden McKissick to come back, and I think we'll be fine. We got our lineman Sam Cosby. He's coming back, so I think it's still going to be a fight, man. It's still going to be a fight. I think it's going to be a one-score game. I don't think anybody's going to blow anybody out, to be honest with you. So I think they're still going to fight.
Yeah, well, we know that as we talked behind stage, that it was a 4.5, I think it opened at, or 4 points, the line. Now it's up to 7 with the Eagles being home. That's very interesting. Let me ask you this, though, before I start telling you how the Eagles are going to beat you. No, I'm just kidding. Knowing that Jalen Hurts is still, quote unquote, day by day, it was an ankle thing. We thought he'd be good now. Now they're kind of saying it was initially a high ankle sprain, which, could linger to 4 weeks. We're going on 2.5 weeks if he plays this week. Who would you, as the, foe, the guy who, outside looking in on the Eagles, who would you rather your team play against? Jalen Hurts or Minshew Mania? Who do you think you guys could game floor with your style of defense and beat?
That's a good question. Jalen's been up and down, but I've seen some of the games. He has been running crazy. But the strength of our defense is stopping the run. Right now, with all the injuries, I would say I'd rather play probably against Minshew with the injuries. If we have John Allen, Deron Payne, and Matt Ioannidis, we can stop the run easier. So I'd rather play if John Allen, Deron Payne, Matt Ioannidis can play. And I'd rather just battle y'all with this run the ball type, old school type football, just a battle, ugly battle. But with them guys out, I'd rather play Minshew because I feel like you'll probably be able to tear up our defensive line. Y'all probably gonna be able to run through the middle, probably to the outside with those young DNs. It's gonna be tough to stop the run. I know that's what y'all want to do. Y'all want to run the football. Jalen Hurts is like another running back out there. So, but if we were fully healthy, like I said, I'd rather play Hurts. But since now we're hurt. I'd rather play against what's his name, Gardner Minshew, to be honest.
Interesting way to assess them, and that's the way I think a lot of people do. Real quick, shout out to Michael Feldler with the $20 donation. Eagles by 10. I stamped that. I'm gonna have to double stamp if that's a thing nowadays. Because look, I just think that you guys are setting yourself up to come in here and be like a lot of unknowns, especially getting taken off your high horse. I think it was a nice win streak, though. Like I said, you play some tough teams. Seattle doesn't look tough, their schedule, but, Russell and them started getting things going. That Raiders game was real. I was at Texas Roadhouse, and I was watching on the big screen as I was eating, like, come on with this stuff. But, hey, a win streak is a win streak in the NFL regardless. And you did show Dallas that don't sleep on them, right? You guys came back at the end. That's not easy to do, regardless if you're home or not. So I do give credit there, and I want to watch any team that is coached by a guy like Ron Rivera. You always got to pay attention to, because you never know if he's going to give one of these rah-rah things to get guys that you do not know come up and ball out. And depending on where you are in this situation, sometimes, it could be a blessing in disguise. There's been a lot of teams that figured out, oh man, I got to go to my 4th this, or my 5th this, or my 3rd this. And oh wow, this is a guy who can be around for a while, right? Everybody's trying to make their name, and these guys have an opportunity to do it. They just can't do it in Philly when the playoffs are on the line. But to me, I would like to see Jalen Hurts play. This is what I signed up for the rest of the whole season. Season of Jalen Hurts to see where he's at. He definitely got things he got to work on as a passer. However, I think the dynamic he brings to the run game, although we ran the ball successfully against the Jets, it's the Jets. My brother is a Jets fan, and I definitely know lots of losing in his fandom and just that team. But we ran the ball pretty much as much with Minshew. There were some nice passes, but we're not talking about a 300-yard passing performance. We're talking about 242 and a lot of the screen game, which we weren't able to get going with Jalen Hurts, whether it was because, we were mainly doing it outside with the wide receivers and not inside with the tight ends and the running backs. So I didn't see anything that said, wow, yes, the passing game looked a little different, but the biggest concern was, why is Jalen Hurts not getting Devontae Smith involved? And oh, by the way, either did Gardner Minshew. Dallas Goedert had a big game. But I just think that, we were going to come in here and run on you guys, or try to run on you guys regardless, because of what we were able to do to the Broncos and to the Saints, who are two, top 3 and top 7 rush defenses. But this is something we're not going to be able to see. I'm glad you did say that, though, that you would like to see Gardner Minshew, because it just don't look good if you're talking about Wednesday and now you're talking about they're still getting splitting reps and this, that, and the third. Sounds like, it could even be more politics than just the ankle, because of them not being straightforward with us about a high ankle sprain from the get-go.
Yeah, I'm walking with a limp today to the facility. I did see that walking. Now, this is a scenario. So if we're up 14-3 or 14-7, Jalen Hurts throws 2 picks at halftime, are you going to make the sub, or are you going to keep Jalen Hurts in?
It's rough. It's rough. Because especially if I'm looking at your defense and I have to look at the back of the jerseys to figure out who's defending these guys, right? I'm looking at the back of the jerseys like, who? I'm pulling up the NFL dictionary like, huh? Who is this dude? You can't struggle that way. Look, the playoffs are too close for me to say what I want to see finish, right? Like, this was supposed to be an audition season for him, but according to the national media, we weren't supposed to be auditioning for a playoff spot. So the team going to the playoffs is above any player on this team. It's the logo overall. I've seen the best players from my team leave and all that good stuff. So I think I'd be okay with it. But I think that's a done deal then, right? It would be now another game, another big game he lost. And I'm not saying he hasn't won any big game in his career or his life, because he did in college, but that Giants game was big, right? That Dallas game last year was big. We beat Dallas last year. When we play you, it's for the division, right? It wasn't put Nate Tankfield in and let you guys have it. You
I
know
want
what
to
I
thank you
mean?
guys for that. Thank you guys. I appreciate that, man.
But it's for the division if we beat Dallas. He lost there. The Giants game wasn't end all be all, but that was a chance to put a stamp, go into the Jets game, get a W, and then go into the bye week really feeling good. And we faltered after being 3-1, right? 3-1 in a month of football to lose to the Giants like we did, 4 turnovers. So I think losing to Washington, another division game, in a game that kind of gets us out of the playoffs or putting us in a losing standpoint, it's done. And that's also where I stand, where if Minshew plays because of the ankle, how do you go back to Jalen Hurts against the Giants next week, where that his last game was his worst game against the Giants, and Minshew rattled off 2? Even though the Hurts stands, which I'm a Hurts guy, but I'm also a guy who's going to pay attention to what's going on in the team, right? That's my main focus. And also, I got 2 eyes. How can you advocate for putting him back in when the last 2 wins were from Minshew, whether you say it's the Jets or Washington, and they're going to treat you guys like not regular Washington, not the 4-1 over the last 5 games. They're going to treat you as Washington. No names. That's you don't got a name. And now your players on the back of the jersey don't have names because I ain't going to know them. You know what I mean? So I think it's big. We have so many storylines here for the Eagles, and you guys are in like hey, it's house money. We're coming in with half our team down. We win. That just power to the players and the coaching staff. If we lose, well, we're kind of supposed to in this situation. Real quick before I get your thoughts, GD with the $5 super chat. I like to see 3 teams from the NFC East make the playoffs, but with the Eagles and Washington football team playing twice, they probably will cancel each other out. Like that. That was something I thought could happen. I thought possibly a split, and then it comes down to like the nitty gritty, the other, because we all got division game. Well, us two both have division games left. The Giants and the Cowboys don't, but the Cowboys are sold and the Giants are just trash.
Yeah, it's trash. Yeah.
Again, if you really feel if you lose this game and you get your guys back with 3 games to go, and us being one of the 3 games, you can't rally something off. You can't go on another 3-game win streak. Like you can't if you're a little bit healthy.
After seeing this Dallas game, how we got dominated up front, I don't see us beating. If we lose this game, it's gonna be tough. I mean, the Vikings, I think they just won. The Niners, we got a battle with them too. So 8-9, I don't really see it doing it, to be honest. I think we're gonna have to go 9-8 to make it. Now, if we do go 8-9, we're gonna have to have a lot of things going in our favor. You might have to lose a game. The Vikings probably have to lose a game or two. I gotta look at the calculations and all this stuff. But honestly, I think this might be a must win. It is a must win, and I feel like I don't like our chances going into Dallas, especially being banged up and how we got beat up on like that last week. And honestly, we really could have beat Dallas, like you said. DeAndre Carter had a wide open pass.
That wasn't a fumble.
It wasn't a fumble. You're right. That was not a fumble. Thank you. Somebody said it. You said it. Even Skip Bayless, who's a Dallas fan, said it wasn't a fumble. Because Kyle Allen, clearly his hand went forward. I know a lot of people are going to argue on this, but his hand was going forward. He was throwing a forward pass. But, of course, Jerry Jones, he's got to work in. He put some money on the table.
And he got the benches over there. He was looking for.
Yeah, it was real disrespectful. We should have denied the request. Dan Snyder should have denied the request for them to put that bench in there, to be honest. And it wasn't even that cold that day. It was like 50 degrees.
Exactly.
It wasn't even that cold. Yeah, so it was very disrespectful. It is what it is. But, we need to bring our benches to Dallas in Jerry World. That's what we need to do. Bring our benches. We know it's a dome, but we're going to say, hey, we need some hot seats in there. But we were a drop catch away, DeAndre Carter. And honestly, Dak threw a lot of passes that could have been picked. Now, Taylor Heineke threw a lot of passes that could have been intercepted too. But Dak was awful that game. He was terrible that game. He was really bad. He could have threw at least 5 picks. He threw 2. We finally caught 2 of them. We got a pick 6. But Dak wasn't good. Zeke's not the same guy anymore. He's not the same Zeke that he was 2 or 3 years ago. Their offense is a little iffy right now. The strength of their team, surprisingly, because their defense was so trash last year, their defense is actually the strength of their team. But to get back to these last 3 games, it's going to be tough to win in Jerry World. And then the Giants, that's an automatic win. I got us winning that game. I don't care who. It could be this COVID team, and we're still going to be Mike Glennon. And even if Daniel Jones plays, I still got us beating the Giants. So that's 7-10 right there. 8-9 could make it. I had us sweeping you guys, but now I feel like we might split because of the circumstances. But I got to see how this game goes first. If we lose badly in this game, then I'm like, yeah, we're not gonna make the playoffs. But if we lose close, or if we win, then I'm like, okay, we're gonna make the playoffs. If we lose close, then it's like, okay, we got some hope because we're gonna get some guys back. Like I said, if Terry plays, we got a better chance, but I don't see him playing. John Allen's got to come back. It's just a lot up in the air right now, to be honest with you. But if we lose, then yeah, it's gonna be very slim for me because the Vikings are weird, man. They win the weirdest games. They win games that they're not supposed to win, and they lose the games that they're supposed to win.
But they do got Green Bay on the schedule. I think they got the Bears, Green Bay, and I don't know who else. I mean, at one time I was definitely snooping on the Niners, the Vikings, and all y'all schedules.
Yeah, y'all got an easy schedule. I got the most favorable schedule I've seen.
Yeah, because we got you on it.
Nah, I knew you were gonna say that, but no, y'all see. Look, this, and I was looking at y'all schedule too. These are the quarterbacks y'all beat. Y'all beat Sam Darnold. Y'all beat Trevor Siemian. You beat Zach Wilson. You beat Jared Goff and the Lions. So that was 4 easy wins right there. That's 4 easy dubs. You beat Matt Ryan. The Falcons were bad at the time. And then who else did y'all beat? Y'all beat
Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy Bridgewater. That's y'all best win of all the quarterbacks. That's the best quarterback.
But it's hard to play in Mile High.
I'll give you that.
You know what I mean? So wait. So okay. So what quarterbacks did you beat?
Tom Brady, the GOAT.
Oh, I forgot.
And we beat Derek Carr too. We beat Derek Carr. Derek Carr's legit. He's actually one of the guys that I want us to go for in all season. I'm number one on my list is either Deshaun or Derek Carr, but that's a different conversation right now. But We beat some good guys. Russell Wilson. I know you guys are trying. Y'all are trying to trade for Russell Wilson from what the rumors are saying. So we beat some legit quarterbacks on the schedule.
Yeah, all right. We're gonna compare wins. The Bucks win. You know, we had the Raiders and we got smoked by them. They didn't have rugs though. You know what I mean? That's a different element, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I'll give you that. And I mean, the referees got you that Raiders win, but it's all good.
That's
It's the
debatable.
NFL.
That's
It's the
debatable. That's
NFL. You
debatable.
know, just
That's
like
debatable.
the referees kind of took that Dallas win from you. You know, so you know what goes around comes around.
Yeah, I said that. I said we did get some favorable because even Heineke in the Raiders game, he almost threw an interception. Like it should have got picked off. I don't know if you saw that,
Oh
but
yeah,
just
he dropped it,
he
and that
dropped the
was the rookie,
interception.
and I wanted that
Yeah,
rookie at
Trayvon Moore. Yeah, TCU.
TCU.
Yeah. So
Even though I
we
was scared to go back to TCU because we got Jalen Rager from there, but I like Trayvon Moore.
yeah,
Yeah,
we got Josh Doxson from TCU. So there's something about TCU. I don't know what it is, but they got some bust coming out of there. But yeah, we've gotten some favorable breaks. I'm not going to call it lucky, but we've definitely got some breaks. You know, we're Washington. We deserve some type of break, man. You know, come on now. We deserve some luck somewhere.
why? No, just kidding. But no, like you said, this game is gonna show me, like, at the end of the day, before I knew about all this health and safety protocol stuff, I was like, look, to me, some people can say the Eagles don't deserve the playoffs. We're a 6-win team, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's not my fault the conference stinks, right? It's not
Mhm.
my fault. And if we have a chance, I'm gonna go until we're mathematically out. But I also want to know, can we somehow hang in the playoffs? Right now,
Mhm.
we're not talking Super Bowl, going to run magical. You never know, but that's not in my mind. But what is in my mind is that I know we have 3 first-round picks. I know we have a lot of money coming to us because the cap going to go up. We are going to have Carson's money off the books. We just got a lot of bread. So if you're telling me we go into the off season with a playoff appearance, win or lose one game or just get beat right away, the trajectory pointing up, we can go spend out stuff. Whether we do make a move for a quarterback, is that's not me. That's what the front office will decide. So I'm all for doing it. I don't understand when fans of any team says, well, we shouldn't do it because we're just going to get beat. Y'all were supposed to get your butts whooped last year in the playoffs first round when y'all squeaked in. You know what I mean? It was like, who's going to make it? Eagles or Washington or Giants, they're all suck, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
right?
NFC least.
And then you squeaked in, and what happened? You gave Tampa Bay probably the best run for their money. You know what I mean? So just that is something that can build off that. And that's why the Tyler Heineke hype was a little bit, and who knows where his young career will go and stuff like that. But NFC East games have a way to just do weird stuff. But I just think that with what's going on in your locker room, and hopefully you don't let nothing slip through the cracks, man, because we ain't trying to beat you and then come out
Yeah,
against the Giants on some, oh,
the
now we
crazy
down 10 people.
the crazy thing is Dallas has no positive tests. It makes zero sense to me how that happened.
I know, right? Because you would think out of them 17 people, one of them had to one of them
Mhm.
had to develop it, right? You know,
Right,
I don't wish
yeah.
that on no team. I
Oh
just
yeah,
think,
no,
yeah.
yeah.
But it's crazy how it's like it starts to make you think, like, bro, take the test again. Let me take it again. You know what I mean? What's going on? Get a new test. But coming into this game, I know Antonio Gibson is going to be featured just because of
Yes, sir.
what's going on with your team and all the skill players down. How do you feel about y'all were using him? He was starting to be that workhorse, and then when he fumbled that ball, you know, they kind of pull back the reins. Now they have no choice but to throw the man in and let him get a lot of touches. But where are you at on him running against an Eagles defense that was horrible in the beginning of the season, but we have turned it around against the run and we're pretty much okay up front and at our linebacker position, even though they're not world beaters.
Mm. Yeah, he leads the league. He leads the league with running backs and fumbles. He has 6 fumbles on a year.
Dang,
He
didn't
fumbles
know
at the
that.
worst time possible. Yeah, so he's been up and down through the 4-game winning streak. He looked like he's legit. I think he's a good running back. He's a dual threat. He's he played wide receiver in college. You know the story with him, kind of like Kenneth Gainwell. They're kind of like the same
Both came out
type
of
of
Memphis.
player. Yeah, they both came out of Memphis. So he every time he does really well, and I'm like, yeah, he's cooking, he's killing. He either fumbles the ball or he gets injured, and you can kind of tell that he's still developing and learning the position because he played, like I said, he played wide receiver. He's still working on his vision, but you can't fumble. He fumbled at the worst time possible. The reason why we lost to the Chargers is because we fumbled on our own 5, or we really fumbled on our own 2-yard line against the fumbles. We were winning that game in the fourth quarter. Antonio Gibson fumbles the ball. Yeah, on Sunday we're coming back against the Cowboys. We're down like 20-7 at the time, or it might be like 24-7, and we're actually marching down the field a little bit. He fumbled the ball against the Panthers. We had momentum. We still won that game, but he fumbles at the worst possible time. I think he deserves to be benched. I don't think he should start. I hope J.D. McKissic is there and available. I think J.D. McKissic should start, or Jared Patterson, or this guy named Jonathan Williams. I think he needs to learn a lesson. You cannot 6 fumbles is a lot of fumbles. How many games have we played? We're 6-7, so that's 13 games. So in 13 games, he's fumbled 6 times. So every other game, he's putting the ball on the floor. It's inexcusable. You can't do that. I don't care how good you are. It's like Tiki Barber. The Giants were going to cut Tiki Barber. You know how talented Tiki Barber is. But something has to give with Antonio Gibson these fumbles. He's killing us. He's hurting the team with the fumbles. It's like every other game he's fumbling the ball. But he's still dynamic. He's leading the NFC in rushing yards. He has about 800 rushing yards. When he's at his best, that's when we win our games. When we are through our 4-game winning streak, we don't win any of those games without Antonio Gibson. The way we've been winning games has been ugly. We've been controlling the clock. We kept Tom Brady on the sidelines. That's how you beat Tom Brady. You just keep running the clock, running the football. Don't let Tom Brady get on the floor. On not the court, but don't let him get on the field.
Too much watching the Wizard talk.
Right, yeah, I know, right? I don't know if your Sixers are losing or not, but
they came back and then they lost. Somebody in the comment section was letting me know. They said you sold out on the Sixers for the Eagles.
Hey, there's 82 games. That's what I thought about the Wizards too. Because
there's
I'm gonna be missing the Wizards game when they play the Cowboys on Sunday night. But there's 82 more basketball games, 70 more basketball games we can watch. But yeah, Gibson, he's got to step up, man. When he's at his best, that's when we're at our best. And that's how we win games. Winning games ugly, play action. You help Heinicke. The best way to help out Taylor Heinicke is by running the football. He's not going to drop back 40, 35 times, throwing the ball. If y'all stop Antonio Gibson on our run attack, then it's probably night-night for us. If we can't run the ball, then it's probably night-night for us. So we need a big game from Gibson, but he's got to stop fumbling the football.
Yeah. He's one of them players that I'm definitely going to watch out for, because I definitely took notice that he was just so dominant in your 4-game winning streak. And I was like, prior to the health and safety protocol stuff, I was like, I wonder how they're going to use him because of the fumble in the Dallas game. And I've heard you talked about fumbles. I didn't know it was up to 6 already.
6,
but I was wondering how he would be used. Would you shy back, especially if you had J.D. McKissic? But I think with the lack of skill players, this is going to be a game where you might have to. Like, I agree, when someone's putting the ball on the floor like that, on a ground like that, you got to get him out of there and let him know, whether it's Miles Sanders or not. Right? He came back his first game, put it on the ground twice. One didn't count. Favorite to us because low key, it was one of them things where the whistle was blown early. They should have let it play, and then he fumbled. I was like, you got to just teach him a lesson. He's our franchise running back. He's going to be the number 1 running back on his team when healthy, but you got to teach him a lesson and pull him for a little bit. But I think you're at that point where it's risk reward now, because you're so deprived of that scary Terry can take it to the house, this guy. So you're just going to need that, what you can call a home run hitter or a grinder on the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he needs to be benched. I'm serious with that. Seriously, like Friday Night Lights.
Bench him in this game. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't bench him the whole game because we need him to play. But if J.D. McKissic is there, then I'm definitely not letting him start. He's not starting. J.D. McKissic is going to get the first couple of carries. It's kind of like the Friday Night Lights movie when the dad comes in, he duct tapes his son's hand with the tape. You gotta stop fumbling, start punching the ball. That's where I'm at with Antonio Gibson right now. I really am. But he's super talented. We need to use him more in the passing game though, because he did play wide receiver. We need to use him more as a wide receiver. I do want to see Scott Turner be a little bit more creative and use him as a slot wide receiver, just like J.D. McKissic. J.D. McKissic is going to be our X factor though. That's one guy that you're definitely going to have to watch out for. Is J.D. McKissic if he does play, because he's in concussion protocol too.
Dang.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, and so like it's coming into this game prior to hearing all this news, my game plan, I wanted to see the Eagles shut down the run, try to force you guys to throw the ball. Again, a lot of people are trying to get the ball out of their hands. I'm talking about quarterbacks that play us get the ball out of their hands fast because of sometimes us playing back in his soft zone. JG has been better with switching it up early. He always starts the game like that regardless. He's been better, especially against the lower tier quarterbacks. And you know what I mean? I'm talking about if not saying
Sam
he's not good.
Darnold
Yeah,
and Zach
throw
Wilson
the
and
Tyler Heineke's in there. And even if he has upside, he hasn't hit
Jared
it yet,
Goff.
right? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And same thing is like, Gardner Minshew. He's at that could probably rise up and be better in that game or stay around that C plus. I just wanted to pressure, not as much. I don't think we would get as much as Dallas because they're just a different monster when it comes to that when number 11 is on. Our D line has been beat up, but Hargrave still wreaks havoc. I just thought if we start sending the house at you guys, and before the whole 17 out for the health and safety protocol, I was like, if Terry don't play, well, then you can let Slay be free. I didn't see the wide receiver group had Samuels maybe mainly because of injury, right? He has
Mhm.
been like a non-factor all year, right? Curtis Samuels, a guy that I thought was going to be a heavy hitter, especially with the attention Terry got.
Yeah, he's been a non-factor. It's not all his fault, but a lot of fans we compare him to Paul Richardson, this guy who was here a couple of years ago. Paul Richardson was a disappointing signing. He barely played any games. He was out for the season the first year in the signing. So we signed Curtis Samuels to a 3-year deal. This man has been injured. He had a groin injury in minicamp in May. That's when they discovered it. Ready, he's a funny guy. Um, that's when they discovered the injury in minicamp, the groin injury. And um, this man didn't play until what game did he play? In the Falcons game, like the third or fourth game of the year. And then we learned that he had surgery in June. So all this stuff came out. Like Ron Rivera was not telling us. And there's rumors of us signing him knowing that he did have an injury in free agency. So I don't know if that's true or not. But right now it has been a disappointment. Scott Turner, I don't know if he knows how to use him because he's a dynamic guy. Some people say he's a gadget guy. Like you got to do reverses and jet sweeps and all kinds of stuff like that. But I want to see more from him. You can use him as a running back. We got to use him more. And then he also has a new injury, a hamstring injury that they discovered today. So he might even be out again. Like he's only played 3 or 4 games at the most. He was on injury reserve. I mean, I'm not gonna say he's made out of glass, but he just has not been able to be healthy. Honestly, he was supposed to be the guy next to Terry McLaurin. He's supposed to be our wide receiver number 2, and honestly, he just hasn't really been able to get out there and make an impact. I mean, he probably has like 3 or 4 catches on the whole year, and every catch he gets is behind the line of scrimmage. It's like we're not calling plays for him to actually go out there and make an impact on the game. So
Oh,
it's been real disappointing for
I know about bad number 2 wide receivers, right? Jalen
Jalen
Rager was supposed to be our guy.
Rager.
And like I said, at the end of the season last year, he showed promise with Jalen. The Jalen connection looked pretty good to end the season. I would say if you look at Jalen Rager's rookie season, his last 5 was better than his beginning, couple. But real quick, shout out to DT. He's a Cowboy fan. I don't know what he's sneaking up in here for anyways. He said, bro, we blowing the Eagles out too. Don't judge Washington because they lost to a juggernaut that allowed them to come back. You don't have them heated seats, you lose that game. Just to let you know. Cheated. Just to let you know, DT. And I was rooting for you. I was stuck between 2 evils only because, you know what I mean? If I had a psychic ball and I knew this health and safety protocol, then I would have been on Washington's side. It's definitely not fair though, this whole thing. And look, I don't wish injury on no team, none of this stuff. I'll take the easier game at this point, but I do want my team to be battle tested, right? Like I want to know that we earned our spot in the playoffs. And the Giants, we got some payback to do to them. But I just think the Eagles are going to be able to send you guys looks that you're not going to be able to handle in the sense that you don't have the explosiveness, right? You're not really known for an explosive offense anyways. And then all the guys being hurt, whether you have to play this quarterback you just signed, not having Scary Terry, offensive line, and your offensive line banged up as well.
Yeah, we're on our 4th string center. Cornelius Lucas is our backup tackle. We got a couple guys out, but honestly, the left side is healthy. So Eric Flowers, a lot of people call him the turntable with turnstile with the Giants, but he's actually been balling for us at guard. He's been mauling, pancaking guys. Brandon
Still
Sheriff,
got Sheriff, yeah.
Sheriff's legit. Left tackle, we got Charles Leno, who's had a solid year. And then at right tackle, we got this guy named Cornelius Lucas, who's been inconsistent. He's been up and down. But like I said, yeah, we're on fourth string center right now. We're struggling right now. We're on our third string tight end. Logan Thomas out, Ricky Seals Jones out. We got Sammy's Reyes, the guy from Chile. He's got the virus too. So it's tough right now. But our offensive line has been the surprise of the season because that's how Antonio Gibson has been getting his rushing yards. Offensive line has dominated guys. They dominated the Buccaneers. They dominated the Raiders. They dominated the Seahawks game. So that 4-game winning streak, our offensive line was legit.
Yeah, and but like I was saying, I think our best pass rush isn't an interior, right? Hargrave, who was balling in the beginning of the season, Fletch is still there. He's still an animal you got to watch out for. Although he doesn't show up on the stat sheet, you're still gonna have to put some guys on him. So our interior rush, I think, is going to affect you, and then just the lack of skill positions. I think we can throw looks at your team that you're going to be like, you're not going to be able to do that. Now we might gamble and you might get some, but that's just the way I feel in the sense of who you have. But
now I did see, but I will say too, your defense, the line is good. I see you guys haven't got a lot of sacks this year. You guys like 21 sacks on the season, so which is not like you guys because I remember you guys led the league almost in sacks last year. You guys went down dramatically. Yeah, you guys are like 28th in sacks on the season, but I know you guys are dead last in completion percentage allowed. I saw Zach Wilson was able to throw the ball to Elijah Moore a little bit, so. You can dink and dunk on the Eagles. Like you said, John Gannon does like to play that soft coverage. So Heineke, if he can get a little rhythm and do up tempo, some quick screens, some quick passes, I feel like we can move the ball on you guys a little bit. But the weapons are gonna hurt. Not having Terry out there, it's gonna hurt a little bit. But yeah, we can complete some passes on you guys.
Yeah, and this is real quick. This is a super chat for you. I don't even know what he's saying.
He said, "This is my guy Key himself. Shout out to him. Thank you for the donation." He said, "Stuck in I don't know what country that is, but Eli, that's my son." He said, "Christmas gift will be extra late." Appreciate it, man. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and all that good stuff.
Hey, there we go. But here's my take, right? When you look at the completion percentage, yeah, we had a lot of quarterbacks complete a lot. It's our style. We haven't been a defense that allows the big hit, right? And so when we play Tampa, dynamic wide receivers, Dallas, dynamic wide receivers, Chiefs, dynamic wide receivers, Raiders, who led the league in deep balls and blah, 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 right? We played that defense where we're dropping back, playing soft. Now, these teams want to throw the ball deep, but they're not stupid. They're good quarterbacks, so they dink and dunk, and they kill us with the completion percentages. But when we play the Teddy Bridgewaters, the Jimmy G's, even though we lost them, we had a great defensive performance there. The teams that we feel are not going to be this deep, we play a different style. Yes, we still allow some things because we always have a tendency to fall back in there for a little bit. But when crunch time comes and we need a couple stops, the defense has been playing different against them type of quarterbacks. And although Heineke, he might have some type of upside, he still doesn't qualify as it's the top 15 get it to us. He's going to have to fall out the top 15. But like I said, knowing that you guys are going in with who knows, right? We're going to have to prepare for some of the guys who are on the health and safety protocol list. We still got to watch out for Terry. We don't know if it's going to be Heineke or the guy you just signed. So that makes it a little bit of the unknown factor, right? Like that's why, a lot of people love the backup quarterback that comes in and win one game, right? Trevor Siemian for the Saints came in against the Bucks. It was a tie game, 7-7 early, and Siemian beat up on Brady, right? But then he goes and has to start, and there's tape on him, and he goes 1-5. He loses 4 straight, right? So I think you might be you coming in with who's this wide receiver? What does he like to do? Who's this offensive tackle? What is his game plan? How does he like to block? It's going to be some unscattered looks that we are going to have to adjust on the fly. But you know what I mean? It's the Washington football team. We all right. You know what I mean?
Well, look. Yeah, you never know. They're gonna come in and play with some heart. Like I said, offensively, we have a simple game. I know you guys have a simple game. Y'all want to run the ball. If it is Hurts, then we know what you guys want to do. There will be games where Hurts will only throw the ball 7 or 8 or 9 times, and that's what you guys want to do. Y'all will run the ball 41 times.
The lowest he threw was like 14. Don't ever put us in single digits. We not Mac Jones. We not Mac Jones.
Yeah, I look at you guys like the Navy midshipmen. That's how you guys are right now. You guys want to run the ball all the time. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because that's what we want to do too. we want to run the ball too. I know you guys want to do a lot of RPOs and stuff like that. And like I said, Quez Watkins, that is going to hurt y'all because we're looking at y'all too. Him missing y'all wide receiver core really isn't fully healthy. You guys aren't really like y'all are not the scariest wide receiver group in the world anyway. Other than Devontae, it's kind of like you got a lot of young and up and coming guys. Kenneth Gainwell and Goddard. Goddard's probably like another wide receiver for y'all, just like kind of like how Ertz was. That's
Yeah,
how we look at Goddard.
he's
So
legit.
that helps you. That helps out your young wide receiver core. But without Quez, we're like, hey man, who's really going to hurt us deep other than Devontae? So that gives us a little break there when he's not playing.
Rager.
That
Keep
yeah,
laughing.
our
He's
thing of
coming
Whiteside.
back.
Our thing of
He's
White.
coming back.
Yeah. Our thing of Whiteside. He's going to go out there too. I heard he's been a really good blocker for you guys too. But
Top notch. Top notch.
yeah, top notch. So holding the umbrella out there. But I know that's going to help because we play a lot of zone too. We're kind of similar to you guys where we don't want to get beat deep either. That's how we beat the Raiders because we know Derek Carr wants to throw the ball downfield. That's how we stopped him. That's how we stopped Brady. We're not going to let anybody beat us deep. So Devontae's not going to run past anybody. We're just not going to let that happen. He might get some stuff underneath, but he's not going to beat us deep. That's what Jack Del Rio's been doing through this 4-game winning streak. That's been our game plan, not to let guys run passes, except for some communication with Bobby McCain. But I know Steven Nelson, he's probably like one of the weakest links on y'all team. So right there, so we might go at him a couple times, see what we can get on Steven Nelson.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the weakest links, but I still don't think he's not as bad. He's an average, a little bit below average corner, and that's why part of the reasons why we play our tactics we're playing off. Real quick, shout out to DT with the $5 super chat. This man is co-signing for Washington by 3 easy. Bro, hit me up on Twitter. We can
Shout out
get a money
DT.
bet on that. We can get that. You know what I mean?
Shout out DT.
Just because y'all don't know how to close the deal fully, you trying to get it over there. And then one for Ed by Yak Dog 24 with a $2 super chat. He didn't really say nothing because he don't really think the Washington football team gonna win either though.
Well, no, that's all I need. That's all I need. Hey, that's all I need from Yak Dog. We already know. Appreciate you, Yak Dog. Thank you for the donation, man.
Yeah, we're going to be ending this in about the next 10 minutes. Shout out to everybody here. Listen, wherever you're watching, and make sure you hit that like button. It's free. It's easy. It don't cost a thing. We are live on both channels. We are live somewhere over there in Washington Nation, and we live over here in Philly Nation. Hit the like button. Respectfully, y'all probably both in your respected corners, right? Washington over there with Ed, Philly over there with me, even though somehow we got some mingling fans. Hit the like button. Does go a long way for the channel, and we greatly appreciate it. But like I said, to really close this out, I want to feel bad for you guys, but I can't feel bad for you guys.
It's all good.
Because,
don't.
Oh, no. I mean, just the fact that, injuries are something, right? That happens in football. So I never really feel bad about it. But like this health and safety protocol, 1 or 2 guys is different. But I don't like the fact that it's just going through football, right? And just like it's nervous, just like it's affecting our country, however it is, just whether it's hard or not, it's just an annoying thing. But at the end of the day, we all signed up knowing that this could happen in this season. I do believe in my team in the sense of whether it's Jalen or Minshew out there. I think the offense started to find its not just its identity in running the ball, but if you look at that Chargers game, we ran the ball, but Jalen was effective. It's only going to throw the ball between 15 and 22 times, but he gets chunk plays in them 15 to 22 passes. He's hitting Devontae for a 40-yard touchdown. Quez dropped one in his breadbasket, which he normally doesn't drop. He won't be there. I think Jalen was starting to stay in the pocket and not hit the panic button as much. Then Minshew comes in and starts dropping some bombs to Quez and Gardner. And so I think once we establish that run, people were putting 9 people in the box and still realizing with 9 in the box, we can't slow it down. So it's gonna result to easy throws. And as we started gathering that, I think the Giants threw a wrinkle in it. I think we were on our high horses. If you look at that box score, it looks even 31 passes to 33 runs and stuff like that. But I think per drive, it was just wildly different. And per half, I just think that we are going to be able to do some things that you're just not going to be able to have the talent out there for just because of the lack of people. Would you say that your offense has been ravished more than your defense, or your defense is ravished more than your offense? Real quick.
It's a tough one. That's a good question. I mean, it's really just it's both. I
Like
mean, we
we
don't
don't
have
get 17
yeah
people.
yeah
You only
it's
put 22 people on the field,
yeah.
both
I mean,
sides.
if we don't have Terry's not even with COVID. It's a concussion, but honestly, Cam Sims being out is huge. Like I said, he mossed Trayvon Diggs, so we need him. He was hitting that stride, so we needed him to play. If he can play, he might test negative. We'll see. But honestly, it's defensively. John Allen is we're going to need him to stop the run. We're going to need Matt Ioannidis out there to stop the run. That's the bread and butter of y'all team. Like I said, you guys are like the Navy midshipmen. Y'all want to run the football. That's what y'all do. So if we can't stop the run, that's the only way it can get ugly. If we're not able to stop Hurts from running the ball, Gainwell, Miles Sanders running the ball, Jordan Howard starts running the ball, then that's it. Yeah, it can get real ugly. But if we're able to at least contain the run, because I watched the Giants game, y'all were able to run the football on the Giants, but y'all didn't have like any 30, 40-yard runs and stuff like that. They were able to contain it a little bit.
Oh, we did have one for a touchdown that got called back.
Yeah, so but yeah, y'all weren't like running. Like I said, y'all were able to run the ball, but it wasn't like the Saints game. It wasn't like the Denver where y'all was just running all over. We would have to at least keep y'all. I would say keep y'all under 120 yards. We're not going to keep y'all under 100 because it's hard to do that because that's what y'all do. But without Matt Ioannidis, without Paint, without John Allen, it might be a long day. But what's let me ask you a question too. What's the game plan to beat the Eagles, and how did y'all lose to the Giants like that? I just want to get a question in like that, because I was watching the game. I was because I've seen Jalen Hurts play. He'll have a good game, and they don't have a bad game. They don't have three good games. He's just kind of been up and down, like a young quarterback usually is, though.
Yeah. So to answer that, and then we get to the super chats. Man, the game was just ugly in the sense of the first half we moved the ball up and down the field at will, whether it was passing the ball or running the ball. Running backs, Jalen, we were doing what we want. The first interception was absolutely one of the worst calls I ever seen. And I low-key just did it on my channel. I did it on my Twitter. Like, you zoom in on the all-22, shout out the Baldy breakdown. Like, Quez Watkins was not only stopped his route, like a lot of people said why he stopped running. The dude was jerked back. You don't go from running at whatever miles per hour you are to taking a step back. Like, you got to be jerked hard. So he was pulled out of his route, interception. I don't really blame that on Jalen. And then again, move the ball down the field. Jalen has a little mind funk. I guess he was just trying to do too much because he's normally really cool under pressure. And one of his best traits this whole season was he doesn't turn the ball over, right? He's not going to throw the ball 40 times volume. He's not going to try to, anticipate throws. He's only going to throw if they're open, but he doesn't make the big turnover. He threw the ball on like third down with like 10 seconds left inside the 20, interception. Should have just threw it away. He was on the run. And so three interceptions, a Boston Scott fumble. Like, the Giants are so bad.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
We did everything in our power to let them win, and they couldn't beat us, because this is the crazy part. Every interception was on their side of the field. So we moved down the field. I'm talking about, we're going to finish with a score, interception, finish with a score. Every interception was almost finished with a score. Now, before you threw that halftime interception, Boston Scott got the one called back. Greg Ward Jr. dropped one in his hands. Wasn't the perfectly placed ball, but it hit two hands. I don't like that the coach does this. Greg Ward, you're on the bench all game. We get to the red zone. You're going to get one play. It's a touchdown pass. Catch it. You know what I mean? You got to get a receiver warmed up. And so that touchdown drop, touchdown call back, 3 interceptions, still moving the ball. And then another one. We're down by 6. Boston Scott and the running back group is killing it on the ground. And then he had that big fumble. And he had that fumble somewhere like an Antonio Gibson would. He said at the wrong times. There was really like 3 minutes left when he fumbled, right? And we were once again on the Giants side. I didn't even think we were going to get the ball back again. But here comes the defense stopping that ugly Giants offense. And we get it back again. And then not 1, but 2 drop touchdowns in the hands of one Jalen Reagor. So it was like all three interceptions wasn't like on our side. We didn't have a chance. The 3 interceptions were scoreable. The fumble, we were going in for a score. And then the 2, like, it was just an absolute disgusting game by a lot of people. But I got to give most of the blame to Jalen Hurts. Worst game of his career. And the Giants just stink that we were in the game the whole time. I don't want to give you guys the opportunity with your beatdown roster that if we do come out and have a turnover worthy game where, you don't have the a talent necessarily if you guys get ravished as much as the names that are out there already, because some might be able to play depending on their vac status and their testing. I don't want to have it where, you know, if it's like the Giants game and we beat you guys 17-13 or some crap like that, where it's like, wow, we keep giving you the ball, your inability to score or put stuff together because of all your problems, I'm not going to feel good about that. We have to be able to beat a Washington football team that is downright probably the most injured / health problem in the NFL ever. You know what I mean? If you combine it, because we never had COVID to mess with people, but if you combine your already injured team with COVID, this has never been seen before, right? You never seen this many people miss a game ever in all the years of football. So
it would only happen to Washington. It would only happen to Washington for real.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think you guys were that of an unlucky team, but I mean,
we're cursed. We're cursed.
Oh, anybody who doesn't win the Super Bowl for that long, and trust me, I knew how
we
that
do
felt.
have three. We do have three.
Yeah. But
you do know how that feels. That is true.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, but I do also know how it feels that my mind is not dusty at all. It's still a little shiny.
It's all good. Hey, you still got him. We still got him.
Hey, shout out to Mike.
Hey, just like that old TV. I don't know if you saw the video where the guy punches the TV. The Washington fan it was the old TV. That's how our rings are. But I still love our rings. I'll still take our rings any day of the week.
Yeah, and rings are rings, right? But
yeah.
The best, like as you said, knowing Washington as long as you know them, you feel like you're cursed because it's like, can we catch a break, right? Like, can I see something? Can I see something?
Yeah.
Forget what I can go Google up and search. Can I see something? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's always good to know your history. That's one thing. To be good at something, you got to know where everything came from. We ran the 80s, we ran the 90s. We got three rings. And those will be stone in history, So you can never take that away from you. Look at Michael Jordan. You look at his rings now; they're starting to get old. We still enjoy the Last Dance. We still enjoy that.
Correct.
Jordan did it in '96. Nobody's gonna be like, "Oh, that's so long ago." Everybody's still gonna respect Michael Jordan. So that's how I feel about it.
Oh, and I agree 100% with that. What is in the books cannot be erased. You can't erase what's in the books. However, as the fan you are, right? What I'm saying is, why do you like?
It's long overdue. It's long.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right?
That's how y'all say the rent is due. It's long overdue. It's long overdue.
Because the best part of sports is actually being able to enjoy it. It's not being able to look it up. But hey, you know what I mean?
But let me ask you something else too. How has Ryan Kerrigan been for y'all since he is a former Washington football team?
Straight trash. Why'd you straight trash? Listen, he didn't get his first stat he didn't get a stat. He didn't even record a stat in a book till like week 7. This dude was playing just like he was playing for you guys. We were playing this man 30 to 40% of the snaps. Not a lot, a little less than half. And the dude didn't get a tackle until like week 7 or 8. And he still only has he has a special team tackle, I think. He might have 2 tackles, 3 tackles.
Hey, I got him on special teams. Dang, it's down. He's down bad like that. He ain't never played special teams for us.
He had what? What did he finish with y'all real quick? 3 or 4 sacks last year in a limited
role?
Role?
6. 5. He had 6. Yeah, he had 5.5 or 6. Yeah, he was balling in the limited time he had. He was impactful. I'll give him that. He definitely,
I'm done with anybody from all these other teams, right? Every time we get a Dallas guy,
Miles Austin,
trash. Miles Austin, Orlando Scandrick, DeMarco Murray. Now we getting Washington guys, and I'm like 6 sacks in a limited role. And my take and my video I made was simply Ryan Kerrigan cannot play as a defensive end all season, but as a rotation play, he's going to bring that Chris Long spark. 4 or 5 sacks is a beautiful number in a limited role. I'm asking for 4 or 5 tackles to finish out the year, maybe. I don't know. But shout out to Michael with the $5 super chat. And now we're gonna start talking some more realistic.
Donation too.
Yeah, we're gonna get them all.
Angel Rojas. Oh, you got some more on your side too?
Oh, yeah, real quick. Washington football team tripping. Eagles will win 28-16. I like that score. No one on their offense scares our defensive coordinator. I won't prop our DC up like that because he's been on a hot seat, but I do co-sign. Right now, there's no Scary Terry out there, most likely, and I'm not really scared of anybody on there. But go ahead.
Shout out to Angel Rojas. Thank you for the donation, man. He says Nate Orchard, Angry Orchard, is gonna have 5 sacks on you. I don't know about 5, but
Who is that guy?
that's our yeah. He's our secret weapon. That's our secret weapon right there. He's a baller.
He's extra secret because
yeah, he is Angry Orchard. I'm telling you, yeah. This we're throwing on some guys that you never heard of. We're gonna be throwing on some guys that you never heard of. You're gonna have to look them up on Madden.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna have my little Madden NFL dictionary, and I'm gonna be like this. Well, this is gonna be the first time and last time we see this guy. It's gonna be the first time and last time we see this guy. Shout out to DT. I'm kind of surprised he's sticking around, trying to sniff out this Eagles and Washington game. Shout out to you with a $5 super chat. Hurts versus the NFC East is 0-4, 3 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, but that can change this Sunday. And I did say that. I opened up the show to say, Dallas game last year was a win that game, you got a shot for the playoffs. This is another game that if you win this game, got a shot for the playoffs. It's not what you've done in the past, it's what have you done for me lately. Narratives can be written in football at any given moment, right? Jalen Reagor is the lowest hanging fruit in Philadelphia. Let Quez Watkins go out. Who cares who's on the no names? The literally no names at this point, right?
The NFC East champs. Just call us that. NFC East champs.
Hey, yo, the text you sent me, right? I put that on Twitter yesterday.
The team that swept the Eagles last year. Just call us that right now. Just call us that.
If Jalen Reagor goes out there and gets us, I don't want to put too much on his plate, but I mean,
yeah, I was about to say.
Realistically, I'll be super happy.
Can he even fill the punt right now? Can he even do a kick return without fumbling the ball? Is he able to do that? Yeah, I don't want you to put any expectations on Jalen Reagor. I'm happy. That's why I said I'm really not worried about y'all throwing the ball on us, honestly. Because after Devontae Smith and Goddard, we gotta look at 2 guys. Devontae Smith and Goddard, and that's it. Y'all might bring up John Hightower to the team. We'll see. He's a DMV.
Oh, you don't want Hightower. Listen, that guy can get past the defense. He just can't catch a ball. Hey, shout out to Jay Kills. Sorry we're a little late on the super chats. $2 donation. Rayful was on top when y'all were relevant.
Rayful admins, yeah. Shout out to Rayful admins, yeah. Shout out to him. We know who that is. We know who that is on the streets.
There you go. But yeah, real quick, and I want you to hear this because when this happens, you can be like, dang. These no names really got to go. We need to get these guys back from the health and safety protocol because Jalen Reagor is gonna have right. Listen to this. I'm not going crazy. Listen, because mark this down. He's gonna have 4 catches. 4
for negative 2 yards. All jet sweeps and screen pass.
4 catches, 62 yards. I can't give him a touchdown. He'll get 4 catches, 62 yards.
Yeah, y'all gonna be bad mouthing him. I was watching the stream when he dropped that pass too. I saw your reaction. I was dying laughing. But tell me, what's your biggest defensive weakness for the Washington fans so we can know when we're going to the game? What's the keys to victory to beat your defense? And what should be our offensive game plan against the Eagles?
Because I know, although we're pretty cool on YouTube, NFL don't give a dang about us. They ain't gonna listen to us. So for you guys to have a successful game with whoever's even being played out there, dink and dunk. You try to set up a lot of stuff that gets you yards after the catch. If you got them type of players, the Eagles are one of them teams that we miss a tackle. There they go, running down the lane, pretty free. It used to be legitly just the middle. TJ Edwards has stepped up in that role, but although, our linebackers, when in zone, can play some coverage, when they get matched up man-to-man, they're just not that athletic to do it. And then, like I said, Steven Nelson will be the weak link. Vontae Maddox is having a great year in the slot. Do not throw to Slay. That's Slay Island out there. So Nelson Aguilar, the safeties haven't been as good. And then if you see linebackers man-to-man, and I honestly think our run game has been legit, defensive run stopping has been legit since the second half of the season, which I think that's how you're going to get it. But whoever your quarterback is, dink and dunk. But again, if you don't have that C+ status, I don't know what happens with Jonathan Gannon. He does he grows a pair. Right? He got some big sacks on some of these teams. We knocked up Teddy Bridgewater, Jared Goff, all them quarterbacks, and I don't know where you think Heineke is, but I think he's around a Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not gonna sugarcoat Taylor Heineke. He's actually been scaring me the past couple of weeks. The Raiders game, he scared me. The Seahawks game, he scared me a little bit too. He was throwing some up there. He will throw one or two in the triple coverage. But shout out to Fat American. Man, as bad as we got hit with the virus, this team's still probably better than the 2019 team. I mean, nobody can be worse than that 2019. We were 3-13. That was one of the worst teams I've ever seen in my life. Man, being a Washington football fan, I'm used to this bad. That's why I'm telling you, we're cursed. We might be. Joe Theismann got his leg broke in the same yard line as Alex Smith. 20 years later, on the same day, on the same yard line, both got their legs broken at the same yard line. What team does that happen to? Only the Washington football team. So, we changed the names, so hopefully the curse is gone now. I don't know if that was the reason why. I'm not going to speculate. But shout out to Fat American for the donation, man. We just got to push through it. Nobody's going to put pity on us. Nobody's going to be sad for us. So right now we got to have that us against the world mentality right now. David Goliath thing, like Ron Rivera said, we're throwing that rock at the wall. We already beat Tom Brady. We beat Russell Wilson. We beat Derek Carr. We beat some legitimate quarterbacks. We beat Cam Newton. All these quarterbacks have been to the Pro Bowl and the Super Bowl. It's not like we've beaten up on Sam Darnold and Teddy Bridgewater and Trevor Siemian and Zach Wilson. It's not like we had a cupcake schedule like you guys, So we just got to keep pushing the fight.
I love it because the story you just said, right, that only works in movies and books. This is real life. You got 17 people out the Eagle, you coming to Philly, and it's not going to be a fun time. And the reason I felt confident telling you my secrets is because when you just got the better players, and at this time I could really say, right, if we had healthy rosters, when you just the bigger and badder team, I could tell you what I'm doing, and I'm still gonna be able to do it, right?
Tell the Washington fans a game plan to stop Jalen Hurts.
The game plan to stop Jalen Hurts would be crash. When he does do the RPO crash, make him throw the ball.
Okay.
But listen, Jalen Hurts is gonna get the love back of Philadelphia for the people that don't, because he about to have Jalen Hurts that line in them wing.
How's that ankle feeling?
We might have to pass it all. We might have Jalen Hurts in the. Nah, I'm just kidding. Look, if Jalen Hurts is healthy, don't be surprised, because, like you said, even though you lost your big guys up front, you were already weaker against the pass than you were against the run, and now losing both, some in the secondary, some in the front. Don't be surprised if Jalen Hurts don't. You know what I mean? He did string a couple good games early in the season. So he was only throwing the ball for 150, 178, and people were thinking that he's dinking and dunking. No, when you throw the ball 15 times for 150 yards, that's still almost 10. That's a 10 yards completion. It's the fact that when people throw for 300, it's because they completed 30 passes. So he's throwing the ball limitedly, but he's not dinking and dunking. It's different. If you have 27 or 26 completions for 100 and something yards, that's super dinking dunking. He does throw the ball in his limited sample size. And if you let him get hot with guys out there that I got to look at the dictionary for, Jalen might get all the. Listen, he just watched Gardner Minshew beat the Jets. He heard Philly talking about Minshew mania. He's coming back. He's playing against a team that has no name, and we don't know their names. This is going to be the thing that sets Jalen Hurts right. Thank you.
Look. Our secondary has been playing better in the 4-game streak. I'll say William Jackson's played better. Landon Collins, who was awful in the beginning of the year, he's playing linebacker now, so he's playing better. He got a pick on Dak.
I thought you were joking when you said that on Twitter. He's playing linebacker.
He's playing linebacker now. Landon Collins is playing a lot better. He was looking terrible, but he's playing a lot better. And we got a guy named Cam Curl, who is a 7th-round pick, so you guys are going to see him. He'll probably be matched up with Dallas Goedert. So that's going to be a fun matchup. He's been balling this year. And we got another guy named Danny Johnson who's been playing pretty well. So the secondary has been, in the beginning of the year, Jalen Hurts probably would have threw for like 300, 400 yards. But this time, our secondary, I can actually confidently say our secondary is a lot better than what it was before.
The guys that you won out there, not the guys that might be out there, though.
Yeah, no, these are the guys. I know Kendall Fuller's not going to be there, but the guys, like I said.
He's your slot guy, right? Or is he your other guy?
He's been playing outside. William Jackson's on the other side. So now, like I said, since Quez Watkins is out, I feel like it's more of an even matchup. If Quez was playing, then I would be like, okay, yeah, we're done. We're dead in the water. But since he's out and you got to play Rager as wide receiver number 2, that's why I feel more confident that we have a chance.
All right, all right. Go ahead.
Fat American, thank you for the donation, man. He says we may not make the playoffs, but Ron got this team playing tough. Future looks bright. Good cap next year. Need a quarterback this year's class this week. This is why I say, I know we're running on time, but this is why if we don't make the playoffs, I'm not going to be mad because the question of do you want to get the better draft pick or do you want to make the playoffs? Because if we make the playoffs, we're probably going to play Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, and the chances of winning are not very high. I will be honest. If we play Aaron Rodgers in the first round, I'm not going to be pumping my chest and say we're going to beat them. So it's like, would you rather get the 13th pick or be the 19th pick? And that's kind of where we were last year. And we picked Jamin Davis instead of getting a Mac Jones, where we rather have Mac Jones or we rather have Jamin Davis. And the answer to that question is probably we rather have Mac Jones at this moment. Or
So
maybe
you want to get that quarterback. You want to get down in that I don't think you'll lose out, but just say you lose. Say, you guys keep do you see yourself
we're not going to lose out
possibly
because
slipping
we're going to play
into
the Giants. We're going to play the Giants. We're going to beat the
Yeah.
Giants for sure. That's one when I can definitely hang my hat on, even if all the COVID stuff and the injuries. That's one I can hang my hat on right now.
Yeah, well, this will be the time to again, we're talking about if this game goes the way we're saying, even though through this stream, you went from, man, the Eagles are going to beat us, but you start, I
I
don't know.
didn't say I didn't say you're going to beat us. I said,
no, you didn't say, but you coming in and we were both modest. And I was like, you know what? Let me stop being easy on this guy. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be that way if it was the other way around. But I seen the tone change. You're like, I can see it. I seen it through the stream. It changed. You're on that Riverboat Ron stuff. But let me ask you, if it doesn't go this way, right? And you lose this game and you start to feel the playoff slip away. I know it's hard to wake up Sunday, watch your team and want to lose, but being in that middle pack, it's hard to try to get a quarterback you like unless somebody falls, right? Because this ain't the best quarterback draft, but the Kenny Pickett's, the Corrals,
I do like Corral.
With all the defensive studs like Hutchinson's and Stingley's and Kyle Hamilton's, and there's another defensive end with all them studs up front, and some of these top seeded top draft pick teams like the Jets, they got their guys supposedly. If you do get around 10, 11, 12, 13, you might get one of them quarterbacks, and I think you just got to pull the trigger. Just even if you're going to have a Heineke, you can do that whole Patrick Mahomes, not saying they're Patrick Mahomes, but just let him sit behind Heineke and learn the NFL system. You got to do something.
Even with that too, like say if you get a higher pick, if you want to trade with the Texans to get Deshaun, or if you want to trade with the Raiders to get Derek Carr, when they see you have pick 19, they're like, do I really want pick 19? Or, do I want pick number 10 if Washington is at the 10th pick? So you got to look at it that way too. We can package that pick up. Y'all got 3 picks to package up. And y'all picks are looking pretty good right now. So if all your picks were 25, 27, and 28.
Our pick's going to be around 19. You know what I mean? When we get to them playoffs, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that. So you got to look at it that way too. But look, we're going to see what's going to happen. Like I said, it's going to be a close game. I haven't made my prediction just yet because I got to see if John Allen comes back or not. But I know it's going to be it's going to be an ugly game. I'm going to say it's going to be in the teens. That's all I'm going to say right now.
I agree. It's going to be ugly. But for Washington fans, I'm not gonna say my prediction too, because I don't normally do this early, you know what I mean? But me and Ed both got crazy schedules, families and stuff like that. So we did it Wednesday in the middle of the week. I'm just gonna say by 10. At least Eagle Nation, right now we're favored by 7. Go ahead and lock that in for like $50. Get some extra Christmas cash. You know what I mean? You'll thank Philly Mike later. The spread is 7. We got him by 7. With that being said,
I seen Jalen Hurts walking. He's walking a little limp there. We'll see.
And look, it's good to know that we do got a quarterback with swag like Minshew. That if first game, go ahead, man. Hey, if you need a quarterback and all else fails,
no, right, we already got a Minshew. Taylor Heineke's basically Minshew. We don't need Minshew.
Well, we could always talk about that on the low, you know what I mean? But anyways, with that being said, once again, appreciate Ed for coming on my channel, and I guess because we're both live, I'm on his channel as well. Definitely hit the like button. Eagle Washington Nation is free. It's easy, don't cost a thing, and it helps push this out. Try to grow the community. You know what I mean? Eagle Nation, appreciate you. Washington Nation, appreciate you guys. You got any last things to say before we get up out of here?
I just want to say hail to the football team. Thank you guys for checking us out, man. Make sure you guys sub with Philly Mike, man. And it's gonna be it's gonna be fun, COVID and all, and injuries and all. We're gonna try to make this a game.
Hey, sounds good. And you know, in between this, if you guys get healthy and you spank up on the Giants and something crazy happens with the Vikings and the Niners, and we find ourselves where that next game is as important as this one, and you're healthy, well, we could do round 2.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure.
But if we blow you guys out and then you lose to the Giants or something, I'll see you next year.
Yeah. Same thing. If we come out there miraculously and beat y'all, we'll see.
Then I'll still see you next year because I quit. No, I'm just kidding. All right, yo. Like I said, everybody in the chat, appreciate y'all for coming through. We out. Peace.